Hi friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading, and this is going to be the winner of the last poll, which was actually like 2 weeks ago. But it is the heart chakra check-in, and it is going to be a deep dive into everything and anything that has to do with your heart chakra. And as usual, we have 3 options. Option number 1 is going to be the Ace of Cups from the Seer's Tarot deck. And I will be shuffling on camera for this reading. So I just want to show you. This is the Seer's Tarot deck. So if you pick option number 1, this is the deck we are going to be using for you. Option number 2 is the Ace of Cups from the Find Your Magic Tarot deck, and this is going to be the deck. Just to give you a quick example, if you pick this deck, we will be using this for your reading, as I will be shuffling on camera. Also, for this deck, there are some cards that I can't quite show on YouTube, so if you do pick this deck and one of those cards comes out, we have to be a little bit mindful. And then option number 3 is the Ace of Cups from the Mythos Tarot deck, and this is the deck we will be using, and this is a Greek mythology deck. So yeah, pause the video if you need to, ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you. And before we get into the reading, I do want to talk about what you can expect in this reading. So for this reading, we are going to be shuffling on camera. So like I said, I will pick the deck based on your option, and I will use that deck to answer the questions. We are going to kick off the reading by looking at your current state, what's going on in your heart chakra right now. We are then going to look at what led you there, what brings you to this place where you are at with your heart. Then we are going to look at what does your heart chakra need, how to practice self-love at this time, what is your heart chakra holding on to, how to release anything that is no longer working, that is no longer meant for you, that is no longer helping you. Then we're going to look at what emotions you may be avoiding right now, what emotions you are ready to welcome in. We are going to look at how can you open yourself up to new connections. And I want to say for this new connections portion, I am thinking about platonic, romantic, whatever it is. We are going to let the cards dictate the message. Then we are going to look at a new connection that is ready to come into your life. Again, this could be romantic. This could be platonic. We are open to the messages as they show up. We will then kind of get a look at who is this, right? Who is this person and why are they coming into your life? We are going to close out the messages with some advice here. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, stick around because we are about to get started. If this is where you leave me, I hope you have a wonderful week and I hope to see you soon. All right, let's get started. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading if you were drawn to the Ace of Cups from the Seer's Tarot deck. We're going to place that right over there. As a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If the message does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown, which is time-stamped below. I highly suggest you check that out because that's going to tell you exactly what questions are going to be answered in this reading. But we are going to kick off the reading by looking at the current energy of your heart chakra. So when I do this check-in, it's meant to give you confirmation if this is your pile, if the message resonates with you. If this portion does not resonate with you, there's a very good chance that the rest of the reading is not for you. So you can try choosing a different pile, or it may just be that this specific reading doesn't have a message for you. But let's get started. So let's see. First, we have the Angel of Balance. Then we have man holding a coin. We also have now. I actually don't know how I want to set these up yet. Oh, balance again. Okay. A lot of balance happening here. Let's actually do this. See how I feel about that. And then finally, we have the bat card. All right. I think this works for now. I may switch them up as we move along. So, pile number 1. Currently, what's happening in your heart chakra, the current state of your heart chakra, if you will. With the Angel of Balance and the Balance card being here, I think you're currently working on trying to balance out your heart chakra, right? Trying to find the balance that works for you. And we also have the man holding a coin here. So to me, this represents someone who operates from the divine masculine. And we all have the divine feminine, divine masculine aspects to us because yin yang, all the good stuff. But this really represents to me somebody who really operates from the divine masculine, someone who is more focused on what's tangible, if you will. And the fact that we have Angel of Balance and Balance kind of flanking this man holding a coin card, to me really amplifies the message that's coming through. Because I think pile number 1, what's happening for you right now is you're trying to ground yourself in the present moment. You are trying to find balance. And I think for my pile number 1s, you may be someone where you have significant air and or fire energy in your natal chart. So we're thinking air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We are thinking fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Very the masculine signs, right? And when I say masculine, what I really mean is that yang energy. The energy of I do, of taking action, of, the divine feminine is very receptive. The divine masculine is more of the go-getter, of the I am going to make things happen. It's an energy that is usually on the go, usually trying to stay ahead of what's coming next. And I feel like for you, pile number 1, you may be someone where you feel more comfortable when you are the one that is having to take control, when you are the one that is the sense of I want to make things happen. And I think that for my pile number 1s, you could be someone who's very ambitious. You could be someone who has a very clear picture of what it is that you want to experience in this lifetime. And I think what you are finding is that there needs to be more balance when it comes to your approach, especially pile number 1, when it comes to your ability to surrender and your ability to allow things to come to you. And this energy really feels like type A. Again, like that perfectionism, that very self-critical energy. Again, I have to make things happen. I have to be on top of things. You could be someone that really focuses on being productive, and it can be very hard for you to just sit back and allow things to happen. It's this energy of I need to go for it. I know what I want, so I'm going to reach for it, and I'm going to make it happen. So very assertive energy, very go-getter, very ambitious energy. But I think what's happening is that you are realizing that while this part of yourself is there for a reason, because I do think you're someone who is able to see things through. I think you are someone who is able to manifest your desires and to really co-create your life. I think what you're also finding is that there may be a shift happening at this time where your attention may be focused, or your attention may be starting to change and to shift to focus to a more balanced place. And I think what's happening for my pile number ones is that you are calling in, you are welcoming in the divine feminine. You are welcoming in intuition. You are learning how to surrender, how to follow your intuition and do what needs to be done, but also to recognize when you've done everything you could have and when it's time to take a step back. Because I think what's happened for you recently is that there's been a dark night of the soul. And I think what you've realized, pile number one, is that certain things weren't fully working for you. That focusing on certain aspects of your life while perhaps pushing others to the side were not working for you. Where I think for some of you, it could even be like your body finally caught up and said, you know what, I'm burnt out. I need a break. Or this could just be like, I've been working my whole life or for a very long time on achieving this thing, and now that I have it, I realize that it's not bringing me the happiness and the joy that I thought it would. But there seems to be something here that is causing you to go within and to almost check in with yourself and to introspect and figure out what's working, what's not working for me. Because we do have the energy of the bat. And the energy of the bat really has to do with letting go. It's also the energy of rebirth, right? The metaphorical death that leads to that rebirth. That ending which leads you to a new beginning, that leads you to planting new seeds. And I think what's happening for your heart chakra right now, what's happening in your heart center, is that you are in this place of adapting. You are in this place of realigning and figuring out, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what's working, this is what's not working. And for some of you, pile number one, what's also happening is that you are realizing whose idea of success, whose idea of what it means to be productive, and who that inner voice that has been pushing you forward is, like, where that inner voice is really coming from. Because what you are figuring out is I think what you are figuring out is that in the present moment is where your life is, right? Because I think for a lot of my pile number ones, there was this almost like this energy of, once I get this, then I'll be happy. Once I get this, then I'm going to slow down and enjoy the process. And like I said, for some of you, you've gotten to the point where you've gotten the thing, and what you've realized is that hasn't really made a difference. And for others of you, I'm realizing I'm just exhausted. I'm chasing something that is so elusive, that continues to evade me, because I am always chasing something that is 2 steps ahead of me. And this is what's leading to this kind of energy of just reconnecting, grounding, and almost trying to figure out, what, if any, changes do I need to make in order to experience happiness and joy, and in order to live a life that doesn't feel as stressful, that doesn't feel as heavy. And what's happening here is there is a prioritizing that is happening here. It's my pile number ones realizing where their true priorities lie, what is truly important, and what isn't so important, what isn't a main focus. And as a result of that, it's realigning, making different choices. So it really feels like your heart chakra is going through major change, major transformation, but also a reawakening. And I think for some of my pile number ones, you are having to connect and feel and experience a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions that may have been very uncomfortable for you, or that currently are still a bit uncomfortable to you. And this is, again, a time in your life where it feels like I am prioritizing and I am figuring out on my list of to do in my life what needs to take priority and what may need to take a little bit of a backseat in my life right now. And what does balance look like for me? And how can I create more balance? But this really does feel like there is an ending of one cycle and a beginning of a new one. And a lot of this work is happening in two chakras for you, pile number one, which is the heart chakra, which, yay, this is what this reading is about, but also your root chakra. Like, I really feel like there's a lot happening in your root chakra as well, where a lot of discomfort, a lot of what's going on and what's coming up seems to be tied to these two chakras. And I would not be surprised if there's something that's manifesting physically for you. Whether it's I am exhausted, I am tired, I can't keep up. Maybe for some of you, like back pain, headache, something. For some of my pile number ones, only take this if it resonates because it's very specific. Something is manifesting in the physical. Something is coming up physically where it's showing up as part of the message. And for some of you, what's coming up physically could very well be what is kind of helping you have this realization, what's helping you kind of have this clarity, this aha moment that's coming up. Let's take a look at what led you here. How did you get to this place? How did you get here? Pile number one, for some of you, the reason you got here is because you've been manifesting all of it, right? You want it all. You want success in every area of your life. And some of you have been going nonstop in order to create that. And it's exhaustion. For some of you, it's exhaustion. And it's also, there's a level of fear here of trying to control this, of trying to manifest this, but it feels like I am manifesting from a place of sometimes of fear. Not always, but sometimes there is fear here. Let's take a look at what led you here. We have the High Priestess. Let's see what else we have. We have Temperance. Yeah. And we have the Nine of Wands. I'm not surprised to see these here. Because here's the thing. Pile number one. If I had to give you a key word, if I had to give you the word that you need to focus on, the energy that you have to focus on right now, I would say it's balance and moderation. And how you've gotten here, right? How you've gotten to this state has to do with, again, overworked, overwhelmed, taking on a lot, trying to do it all yourself, it's like I'm trying to create, I know what I want, I'm trying to create it, but it's been overwhelming. It's, extremes. I'm taking on too much. I am doing too much. I'm a bit impatient, so I'm pushing forward to create this. I want to make this happen. And here's the thing, pile number one. You're very intuitive. You do know what you want because we have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck here. You are tuned in. You are connected to your higher self. You know what you want. You know what you desire. But at the same time, you're not really working fully with spiritual law. And I think this is a group where if you were interested into learning more about the spiritual laws, and I'm not just talking about the law of attraction, that is one of the laws, but hermetics, and really looking at the spiritual laws and how they work. Because I think that for my pile number one, you're so comfortable with doing and going after what you want, but there's discomfort with having to trust, having to take a step back, and having to allow. Yeah, and it feels like there's a level of exhaustion that is going on here because we have the Nine of Swords here. I'm sorry, the Nine of Wands. And this Nine of Wands really does speak to, I am the Nine of Wands. When it comes up, it's a card that says, keep going, but it also says, I'm at my wit's end. I am exhausted. I am tired. I am pushing forward, but I am also exhausted, and I'm struggling to kind of keep going here. But here's the thing. Pile number one, what's led you here is your determination. What's led you here is your resilience and even your defiance, because you are not someone who's going to take no for an answer. You are not someone who's going to walk away from creating what it is that you want. And those are great things, great aspects, right? But also there's another side of this where it's time to listen to your body. It's time to give yourself permission to rest. And sometimes it may seem counterintuitive, but the best thing that we can do at times is say, I'm going to take a time out and I am going to kind of regenerate my energy. I am going to recharge my batteries, if you will. And that way I can go for what I want, what I desire, with more energy, with more clarity. Because when we operate from a place of exhaustion, that is not good for us. And what's led you here is you're not willing to take no. You are not willing to stop until you get to where you want to be. But again, there's almost a double-edged sword here, which this also leads you to, I am struggling, I am exhausted, I am overwhelmed, I'm having to push through. And one thing that's coming through here as well is don't get so wrapped up in having to get to the destination that you miss out on the point of the whole journey, which is the journey itself, the lessons, the experiences that it's going to take you to get there. And a big thing that's coming in for my pile number ones is enjoy it. As you move through this, enjoy the process. As you grow through these experiences, enjoy the process. Let's take a look at what does your heart chakra need right now. So what does your heart chakra need right now? I'm looking at this Nine of Swords underneath the deck there. For my pile number ones, for some of you, what your heart chakra needs is to feel the feelings. What your heart chakra needs is a break. Wow, I cut the deck again. Four of Cups and that Nine of Swords again. So yeah, your heart chakra just needs permission to be where it's at. Your heart chakra just needs to be allowed to exist and just kind of catch your breath and just sit with where you are at is what I'm getting. But let's see what else we have here. So what does your heart chakra need at this time? Three of Swords. Yeah, you need to feel the feelings. You need to allow yourself to be wherever it is that you are. And as I said for the check-in, for some of you, you are going through a cycle of a dark night of the soul. You are going through some endings. You are going through a rebirth. This feels like a very significant time. And what your heart chakra needs is permission to be where you are. What your heart chakra needs is to be allowed to, and I think for some of you, just to even cry it out, just like let some tears flow, and be where you are at. Let's see what else we have here. Page of Wands. Queen of Swords. Yeah. I feel like for my pile number ones, your heart chakra needs understanding. Your heart chakra needs patience. Your heart chakra, it's almost like a reparenting for some of you, really connecting to the inner child and just sitting with yourself and being able to say, it's okay. Allowing yourself to be there, allowing yourself to experience what you need to experience. And here's the thing, the experiences are happening, but what your heart chakra needs is the permission to not only accept it, but to truly move through it and to really sit with that, with this moment in time, right? To hold space for yourself, right? Wicked, if you will. Every time I say hold space now, I think of Wicked. But anyways, it's about holding space for where you are at. And instead of trying to rush past it, push past it, sitting in there, observing it, allowing the things that want to come up, allowing the healing to happen. And here's the thing, because we have the Page of Wands, as you allow those emotions, those feelings to move through, those experiences to move through and to be processed, you get back to the energy that you want to get to, which is having more energy, having more excitement, feeling inspired. But the more you try to push things that are not pleasant away, the harder it is to truly sit, to truly move on, right? Because if you don't allow yourself to be where you are, to sit where you are, it becomes repressed. It becomes bigger than it needs to be. It goes from being this thing that you can allow to move through to being this monster that is building up and up and up. And next thing you know, there is a big scary monster in the closet of your heart chakra. So this is about you feeling the feelings first and foremost, and also observing, right? What are these emotions telling me? Because emotions are ultimately messengers. What are they telling me? What is being communicated to me? And once I know what that is, what is being communicated to me, then what do I do, if anything, right? Because not every single emotion, not every single thing that comes up requires a reaction. But what do I do, if anything? Or what have I learned? Or just the relief of allowing it to pass through you? Because this is what's going to allow you to get back to your energetic self, to get back to the part of you that is inspired and going after your dreams and excited. Let's take a look at what you can do to practice self-love at this time. So for my pile number ones, the Hangman is under there. For you guys, a pause, a break. If you can take like a day off where you can just unplug, be where you are, feel the feelings. I think for you, pile number one, that could be very healing, and that could be a form of self-care, self-love. But how can you practice self-love at this time? Pile number one, a pink candle for your heart chakra could be very helpful at this time as well for you. The Lovers, yeah. So how do you practice self-love? The Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. So 8 energy there coming up double. And the 8 energy is very closely related to Saturn energy, which is if I work hard, if I do what I need to do, I will get to where I need to be. The work is hard, but the payback, tenfold. Whenever you're dealing with Saturn energy, it's hard to do. It's not easy to get through. But once you get to the other side, the gift that Saturn sends your way, tenfold. And for some of you, there may be some sort of transit that is activating Saturn or Capricorn energy. This could be Saturn in the 6th house, Saturn in the 10th house, some sort of aspect that's happening, something that may be activating either Saturn or it could be Capricorn. This could also, again, there could be some action in the 6th and 10th house as well. Maybe a little bit happening in the 2nd house of your transit at this time of your transit chart. Also look at your natal chart and see what's happening there. That is just extra confirmation if it makes sense for you. If it does not, do not take it. But how can you practice self-love at this time? First and foremost, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Be patient with how this is unfolding. And I think that we've talked about this. I think for my pile number ones, you're used to being on the go. You're used to things happening. You are used to action. And you could be very well going through a period of time where there is very little action and energy could be stagnant at this time. I also think that for you to practice self-love, something that you can do for yourself is look at your beliefs, look at the story that you are telling yourself, look at the narrative, and figure out, is this true? Is this still true for me? Am I telling myself a story that I have outgrown? Am I allowing a story, a belief that I have outgrown to play out? And for you, pile number one, a way that you can practice self-love is to empower yourself and to really look at your thoughts, your self-talk, because I said this at the beginning. I think my pile number ones have a very harsh inner critic. And you practice self-love by acknowledging and working on that self-talk, those limiting beliefs, that narrative. Replacing it with something that is in alignment with who you are, that is more true of who you are today. And if you catch your inner voice being especially harsh to you, pile number one, cancel and replace it, right? Nope, that's not true. I'm going to replace this with something that is true for me and who I am today. And this has to come from a place of love. This has to come from a place of compassion and kindness. Because if you are being hard on yourself, if you are being cruel to yourself, that's not love. And another thing, pile number one, if you are someone where when you talk to yourself, you're very harsh and you say, well, it's just the truth, there's no need to be brutal with yourself, right? It can be true that there are things to improve upon, or there are things that you want to accomplish, there are things that you want to work on. And it can also be true that you can be kind to yourself as you move through those spaces and as you allow the journey to unfold. Because I think that the way that you speak to yourself, for some of you, you would never speak to a friend or a loved one the way that you speak to yourself. And a big part of self-care, self-love for this group at this time is replacing and really looking at how you are talking to yourself, how you are communicating with yourself, how you choose to push yourself forward and figure out, is this truly kind? Is this truly right for me? And also learning and moving through that process realistically. Because I think sometimes for you, pile number one, it can be easy to set unrealistic expectations for yourself, where it's like, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore, and that's that. Where in reality, it's Every single day you have to make a choice of what you will and will not do and what you want to choose for yourself. And every single day as you make those choices is an opportunity to put it to practice. And there will be times, because we are humans, we all do it, where you do something that is not part of what you wanted to do or experience. And what you have to do is say, you know what, I forgive myself. This is another opportunity to do something different. Let's move into, what is your heart chakra holding on to? So what I'm looking for when I ask this question is kind of what your heart chakra is holding on to that is not serving you. So what is my pile number one's heart chakra holding on to that is no longer serving them? I'm trying to shuffle on that side just so that I don't mess up the cards that are on the table, but it's bound to happen. The Fool. So what is your heart chakra holding on to? Let's see what we have here. Yep, Four of Cups. And the Strength card. Pile number one. And I relate to this. So I'm saying this with peace and love. I am saying this with love and respect. Part of what your heart chakra is holding on to has to do with expectations. Part of what your heart chakra is holding on to has to do with almost like anything that hasn't worked out in your favor, or things that didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to. For my pile number ones, there's a level of your heart chakra holding on to the past to some extent. Different things for different people. For some of you, this could be, I'm holding on to this idea. For others of you, it's a person, a connection, a relationship, a way of being, something that was said to you that you accepted as truth. But it feels like for this group, there is something that has passed, right? Something that is no longer around, but the remnants of that are around. Like something, it's almost like the ghost, right, of the past, right? Where it's like, maybe I'm no longer in this connection, but that what happened in it is really still affecting me, and I'm holding on to it, and it's taking up a good amount of space in my heart. Or it could be, maybe that experience was awful and it was over with, but I'm still kind of holding on to a little bit of, like, there's something that is there that's like, it's almost like a whisper of something that was significant in some way. Again, different people, different things. But with this Four of Cups, there's also this energy of like that missed opportunity. That thing that didn't quite work out, that thing that didn't quite materialize, that wish that I made, or that dream that I had, that maybe I got some version of it, but I didn't get exactly what I wanted. Or maybe it's, I'm still working towards something, but it's not in the time frame. There's something around that, right? That is very frustrating. Because if I had to say what you are holding on to, what your heart chakra is holding on to, that is not in your highest and greatest good, it's frustration. It's also this energy of like, perhaps I've missed out on something. Perhaps something just didn't. And here's the thing. It may be actually true, right? It may be true that something didn't work out in the way that you wanted it to, and, a dream didn't pan out in the way that you wanted it to, and that hurts. And you have every right to mourn that. You have every right to carry that with you. But how you carry it with you, pile number one, is very important. Because are you carrying it with you in a way that is preventing you from embarking on a new opportunity or from embracing something new? Or are you carrying it with you as a lesson and as an experience? And I think for my pile number ones, we've talked about this earlier on in the reading because we now have the strength card here. I think you're someone where at times it's very easy for you to think your way through your emotions, to, rationalize your way through your emotions. But I don't think it's always comfortable to feel them. And this could be a group where, I don't want to sit in this. This is uncomfortable. I don't want to sit in it. So I understand it. I've rationalized it. I've processed it mentally. But I refuse to emotionally sit in it. And I think those experiences are there and they're lingering because you've done the work. Because here's the thing, pile number one, you've done the work. But as you've done the work, the part that you may have not done or skipped over or rushed through was just saying, this is what it feels like. Like, let me just sit in this. And I think that we are in a time and place where we know so much, right? Where like spiritually, psychologically, we know so much of how things work that we are in a place where when we are working through certain things, we're thinking it, we're taking action on it, where we forget the most important part, which at times is, let me just sit in this and be in this and allow it to pass through. And I think that you are so close as far as releasing the things that are there. Let's actually move right into that, because the next question is, how do you release this, right? How do you release what you are holding on to? I'm going to cut the deck one more time. For my pile number ones, how can my pile number ones release this? That Three of Swords again, feel it. Yeah, for this group, you have to feel it. You have to sit with it. It's uncomfortable. And here's the thing. Sometimes we need professional help to help us sit with it. I am the biggest fan of therapy because it helps so much. And sometimes we just need help to sit with it because sitting with it can be so uncomfortable. Take a look at how can you release this. 7 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. So pile number one, we have the 3 of Swords down here. And again, that's about heartbreak. That is about grief. That is about just, it is not a good feeling card. It's very uncomfortable. It can even mean betrayal. And I think that this 3 of Swords is so good because it shows the heart, right? This heart, whatever your perspective is, because this can be the heart is being pulled apart, or maybe it's the heart is being mended. And that's first things first, right? I need to sit with it. I need to feel it. But then we move into this 7 of Cups, right? And the 7 of Cups is typically choices, imagination. It is options, right? We see the 7 cups. Each cup has something underneath it. Some of the options, some of what is hiding underneath the cups is very good. Other things are not. Not every single thing needs to be explored. And with the 7 of Cups being here, this is also about really sitting with the fears especially if there is a fear of like, I am going to make the wrong choice. If there is a fear of things are not going to go right. Because sometimes what happens is we experience something or we try something and it doesn't quite work out, and we carry the weight of it. We carry that sense of, if I try this again, is it going to go like last time, right? Because sometimes it's easier to do something for the first time. At least for me, it's so easy to do something for the first time versus I've done it and now I have to try again, and I know that last time it wasn't so great. So this is really understanding that part of what causes indecision is fear, right? That fear of, I am going to choose the wrong thing, fear of something is not going to go my way, fear of the unknown. And I think there's a level of feeling overwhelmed, especially for this group, where it's like you may struggle where at times it's like, I am just completely overwhelmed to the point where I'm shutting down. And this is about you releasing those doubts. There's almost like exposure therapy here for this group. Allow yourself to make the choices. Allow yourself to go for what you desire. Allow yourself to take a chance, right? And again, the main thing for this group is feel it. Once you feel it, this is also how we release it. By realizing that every single experience still taught you something. It still got you to where you are today. You are who you are today because you were made up because of what you've been through. And some of those experiences were not great, but unfortunately, we can't change them. Unfortunately, we don't have a time machine yet, right? Hopefully at one point. So it's about really empowering yourself by understanding the triggers, by understanding the fears, and then counteracting those fears by making choices that are in alignment, by making choices that are going to bring you abundance, and by making choices that make you feel abundant, that allow you to lean into, I feel abundant, I feel good, I feel like I am doing what I am supposed to be doing. And also by connecting to what you love. And for some of you, it's not only what you love, it's who you love, right? Who you want to connect with, who you love. Let's take a look at what exactly are the emotions that you are avoiding right now. So what emotions are you avoiding right now for my pile number ones? Hanged Man. Four of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Pentacles. I think that you are avoiding certain emotions. We've talked about that. Like that part, pile number one, we've talked about. But what I think is also being brought up here in this portion is that you're also avoiding stillness. That you're also avoiding kind of being in that present moment and just existing, just being. And another thing that this is bringing up is a reminder that when we avoid the bad ones, right, or like the more difficult emotions, the uncomfortable emotions, we also have to avoid the good ones, right? Because if we're repressing an emotion, if we are repressing something from coming up, it's very hard to kind of pick and choose. What we usually do is we have to repress all of it, because if we allow some of it to free flow, then what happens is that what we don't want to come up starts to come up. And spoiler alert, pile number one, what usually ends up happening is that regardless, that thing that we didn't want to deal with eventually comes up, and once it comes up, there's kind of no stopping it. There's like there's no putting it back into that little box that you stuffed it in. And I think for some of you, that's exactly what has been happening. And also, because of this, it's not allowing you to experience the joy and the peace and the harmony and the gratitude that you want to experience, and to be in that present moment, and to ground yourself in that present moment as you want to. Because that's coming in here very loud and clear, because we've had that Three of Swords. It keeps peeking through. It keeps showing up. In addition to that, it's these things are kind of like a byproduct of the other things, right? Of everything else that's happening. Let's look at what you need to welcome in, because this is very interesting. That kind of felt like almost a little bit of like, yeah, this is what you need to welcome in. But for my pile number ones, what do my pile number ones need to welcome in? The Hierophant. Knight of Pentacles, which we just saw the Knight of Pentacles underneath the deck here. Queen of Cups. What you need to let in is exactly what we were talking about. Peace, tranquility, being present in the present moment, gratitude, feelings of joy, feelings of contentment, feelings of belonging. For some of you, experiencing that oneness consciousness, experiencing that feeling of connection. And also, pile number one, trust. Trust in self, trust in the universe, trust in your higher self, in yourself, in the universe, in the people that are around you that you can trust, trusting that things will unfold in the way that they are meant to. And really experiencing that trust in your beliefs as well. Trust in whatever it is that you believe in. I think sometimes, pile number one, you may question yourself. You may go back and forth with certain things. So trusting that. And I think for my pile number ones, it's also about welcoming in everything across the board. What's coming up needs to be welcomed in, because it's coming up for a reason. And the more you welcome it in, sometimes the sooner it's going to move through. Especially for those things that don't feel comfortable to you, that you do want to move through rather quickly. The more you allow it, the more it passes. Because right now it feels like, because there's resistance, it's kind of just sitting there. Whereas if I allow it to flow, it flows easily. Let's take a look at how can you open to new connections. So, as I said in the intro, this portion of the reading is really going to be about all sorts of connections. For some, it may be kind of more about like platonic. For others, it may focus more on romance. We're going to be open-minded. But when I ask, how can you open to new connections, I am asking for the connections that are meant for you, that you are meant to experience, whatever type of connection that is and however it shows up. Two of Cups. I love it. The soulmate card. For some of you, what you are meant to connect to, what you are meant to experience is a soulmate relationship. That could be platonic, though I do think for some of my pile number ones, many of you probably, it's more in the romantic side. But let's see here. Wow, the Sun. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Sun card here as to how can you open up to new connections. You have to be vulnerable. You have to want it. You have to allow it. Also, pile number one, you have to understand that you do have soulmates, that you do have souls that you are meant to connect with, and souls that want to connect with you, that are going to love you, that are going to help you move forward by teaching you lessons, by growing with you, by expanding with you. And for my pile number ones, if you're someone who struggles with like letting people in, letting people get close, or with being vulnerable, this is about opening slowly, right? Taking your time, not rushing into anything. But this is also speaking to what type of connection do you want? Because if you are in a place where you're like, you know what, I'm ready for a friendship, I am ready for a partnership, a romantic partnership, I am ready for a business partner, it's also about getting clear on what that is that you want, and then actively allowing it in, actively drawing it in. And now what does that look like? It's going to be different things for different people, right? So for some of you, it's I am actively opening this up. I am going to maybe meditate. I am going to do some sort of prayer, some sort of affirmation, where I am going to do that on the spiritual side. And then I am going to actively be open to meeting people. And I want to say, you know, it's very hard to meet people in the time of social media because most people are on their phones or on their devices, or if you're not into meeting someone online, that can be very hard. But it's also about putting in that effort. I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to connect with people. I'm going to start a conversation. I'm welcoming this in, I'm open to it, and I'm taking the steps as I'm guided to take them. Different things for different people. But this is about you opening up and knowing that what you want wants you back, that you deserve connection, that you deserve love, that you deserve care, that you deserve happiness. And also coming at this from a place of gratitude for what I already have, excitement for what is to come, and openness to what is already arriving in my life. Let's see what type of connection is ready to come into your life. Like, what is this connection, and like what type of connection this is? What is this trying to what is this new connection trying to come in for you? I think for some of you, I'm getting romance. This could be like a very close friendship or romance. King of Pentacles. So it could be somebody who is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This feels like somebody who is very reliable, very honest, very, they have a very grounded presence to them. For some of you, this could very well be a business partner, but that's like a few of you. The High Priestess, the Eight of Cups. So pile number one, this new connection that wants to come in for you is a connection that is almost like karmic in nature. And I want to disclaimer before we go there. To me, karma is not good or bad. To me, karma is cause and effect. When I say a karmic connection, in this case, this feels like what we would deem as good, right? Where it feels like this is somebody who's coming your way almost as like you've earned it. And the reason you've earned it is because you've done the hard work. It's because you've done what you need to do. And part of what you've done is, one, you are opening up to your intuition. Two, I do think this is somebody that you are drawing in, that you are actively manifesting. So if you're watching this and you are actively manifesting a friendship, a romance, a life partner, whatever it is that you're, a business partner, whatever it is that you're manifesting, this is who this is about. And you've manifested this by doing the work that you are doing, by going through the transformation that you are going through, by choosing yourself and leaving behind anything that is not in your highest and greatest good. And I also think that there is a message with this Eight of Cups being here, that part of how you are manifesting this is by going through the transformation and going through this dark night of the soul and going through this period in your life where you are realigning to who you are today and leaving behind that which you have outgrown, where you are honoring yourself. And this person, whoever this is, whoever this connection is, they are meant to come into your life at this point in time, because this is when you are both going to be ready for one another. Let's look at who this is. I want to see who this is. And we're going to get as much information as possible. But this is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. But who is this coming in for my pile number ones? I'm actually going to choose these three for this portion. Who is this? The Five of Cups, Eight of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Four of Swords. So this could be someone who has, I really got earth energy for some of you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I've been getting that vibe from this person that's coming in. But I also think that that is coming through because this is somebody who really kind of operates from earth energy, from a very grounded place. This is somebody who is honest. This is somebody who is very hardworking. This is someone who is, they say what they mean and they mean what they say. And I also think that this is somebody who is very hardworking, somebody who is very reliable. I will say, anytime I get the earth energy, sometimes I get like that. This could be somebody who's kind of hard-headed, who could be a little bit like stubborn at times. I'm not getting anything too extreme with that, but I have to mention it because it's there. But this is somebody who I do feel operates from the divine masculine. For some of you, this will be someone who is a masculine. For others of you, this is just the energy that they operate in. This is somebody who is very confident, very sure of themselves. This is also someone who is kind of similar to you in the sense of, I feel this person has gone through a very big transformation recently, and this transformation has to do with them realizing that certain things were not working for them. I also think that this is a person who has learned how to take care of themselves and give themselves breaks and give themselves kind of listen to their body and listen to the needs of their body. And I think that this is somebody who you both are going to have a lot in common. I also feel like this is somebody who's very caring. I do feel this person is a bit reserved at first. So when you first connect with them, I do think they can be a bit reserved. Like it takes them a little bit to open up. They're not going to just open up to anyone. But I also feel like this is someone who is in a similar place to you. There could be mirroring here where you're both going through very similar situations, like the exact How it presents in both of your lives may be different, but the overall energy is very similar. And this is somebody who is also in a place in their life, in a time in their life where they are creating more balance and they are creating more space for connection in their life. And this is why you come into one another's life. Let's look at why this person is coming in for you. Let's look at why this person is coming in for you. I almost feel like for some of you, you've earned it, right? Like you've earned this person coming in. You've earned, it's like they're almost a prize coming in for you because of everything that you've done and you've worked through. The Emperor. Yeah, this person is coming. Yeah, for many of you, this is going to be a soulmate. This is going to be a romantic soulmate for many of you. This person is coming in to build something with you. This person is coming in to create something with you. For some of you, this could be a marriage partner, like a spouse, a life partner. But this is somebody that you build something with. For some of you, you will be buying a house with this person. What's underneath here? Six of Cups. Yeah, this is a soulmate. We have the 2 soulmate cards. Page of Cups, romance. Yeah, for many of you, this is going to be a romantic partner. Take this as it resonates because we have the 6 of Cups there. For 1 or 2 of you, be very mindful with this message. Take it only if it resonates. This could be somebody from your past that is coming back around. If you are in a place where nobody from your past, you're not open to it, it's not for you. If there is no one in your past, it's not for you. But that is a very specific message. Again, it could just be for 1 or 2 of you. Take it if it makes sense. You will know your intuition if that's a message for you. But I do feel like this person is coming in to build something with you. For those of you where this isn't a romantic partner, this could be like a business partner. But there's like, we are building foundations with one another. We are building a life together. And this is a soulmate. For you, this is a soulmate. This person is meant to change your life. You will change their life as well. And there's going to be a lot of progress made for both of you. For many of you, there's going to be a lot of like love and romance here. We saw that Page of Cups. There is almost like a sense of hope, renewed hope here as well, especially for those of you that may be struggling with like, I just don't feel connected anymore, or you may be struggling with something along those lines. This could be just like renewed hope and optimism and excitement here as well. Let's take a look at the advice. So we are going to start by looking at power of surrender. And this is just what your heart chakra is ready to surrender. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And get creative. And here's the thing, pile number 1. You are very creative. Don't allow fear to stop your creativity. What else do we have here? Surrender, frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. Pile number 1, I think for you, especially when you are feeling overwhelmed, especially when you are feeling frustrated, especially when everything feels like it's just too much, that's the time for you to just focus on your breath and take at least like 5 minutes as a time out. I did pick a Alice in Wonderland Oracle card. Let's see what we got for you. Set your course, know where you wish to go, have a plan, the right direction. And here's the thing, pile number 1. Right now, that is exactly what you are doing. Right now, you are setting the course. Right now, you are figuring out if this is the right direction. And I think that for those of you that went through that dark night of the soul and you're coming out of that, for those of you that are still in it, the message is the same. This is leading you exactly to the answers that you were seeking and to the path that you are meant to be on. And when I say meant to be, you're meant to be on it because that is your choice. You have free will. You are the co-creator, you have autonomy. And what you are coming up with is the plan. What you are being called to do is figure out the plan and give yourself time to come up with a plan. Let's see what else we have here. Round and round. And this is what you're breaking free from. Anything that's a cycle, anything that is a pattern, anything that is repeating itself. That's what the rebirth is from. That is what you are breaking free from. And that's why you're in a place of observation, of reconnecting to self and observing yourself and being in the present moment. What did I say earlier? We're going to identify the triggers, the defaults, the patterns, right? So that you can break free from anything that you don't want to experience. And then truth be told, right now you are setting yourself free and you are allowing your heart to set you free. And you're doing that by being truthful. Pile number 1, claim this in the comments. I am balanced and open to love. That is your affirmation, pile number 1. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things that help me out so much. I appreciate you so much for doing them. And if you think the video is worth sharing, share it. You never know who may find us. Let me know what else you'd like to see in the comments below. Also, let me know if you like the free shuffling, like this shuffling on camera, or if you prefer the pre-shuffled readings, because I'm trying to figure out which one is best. But thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Ace of Cups from the Find Your Magic tarot deck. Also, as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. I did do a reading breakdown of exactly what is going to be answered, what we are going to be looking at in this reading. I highly suggest that you check that out. It is time-stamped below. And as we get started, I did start out by pulling cards that are going to represent the current state of your heart chakra. This is meant to give you an idea if this is the pile for you, because if this portion does not make sense, then the rest of the reading is probably not going to make sense for you. So if this part doesn't make sense, try choosing a different pile, or it could just be that there is no message for you in this specific reading, which happens sometimes. But let's see what we have. And also, as a reminder, I will be shuffling on camera for this reading. Let me know if you like that format or if you prefer the pre-shuffled cards. Angel of Love. Okay. Goodness. All right, let's see what this is. Caring Connections. Then we had Passion. Transformation. Who are you? Pile number 2. Oh, and the Tiger. Okay. We have energies here. We have all the energies. Okay. So this is very interesting because I'm coming from another pile, recording another pile, and here we are. So, and this energy feels completely different. So pile number 2. First and foremost, you just have such beautiful energy, such loving, warm energy. And I think for my pile number 2s, you are someone who feels quite comfortable in the heart chakra. And I also think that you feel quite comfortable in the sacral solar plexus area as well. Like those chakras feel very comfortable for you, as well as the third eye. So it could be that you are someone who actively works on your chakras and on keeping your chakras balanced, Or, like you could just be somebody who's very interested in chakras. I don't know if you can hear that, but I am going to wait for that noise to stop before I continue. All right, pile number 2, we are back. Sorry, there was a lot of noise outside and I didn't know if the mic was picking it up. So, as I was saying, this feels like someone who is very comfortable in the heart chakra, because we have the tiger here, and the tiger has to do with lunar force. The tiger has to do with the divine feminine, and we also see that like moon there, that crescent moon there on the third eye, representing that connection to intuition. And I think that for my pile number 2s, many of you could very well be very clairsentient, so clear feeling. You receive guidance, intuition through your feelings. So you could be somebody who is also an empath, or who you may describe yourself as a highly sensitive person. That's coming through here. There's a lot of sensitivity here. There's a lot of compassion. There's a lot of loving energy. There's kindness here. I feel like this is the type of person that cares deeply about others. You are someone where you want the best for other people. And this truly feels like somebody who is trying to actively make a difference. So this isn't like I'm just talking about it or thinking about it, but I am actively doing something to try to make other people's lives better. So this really feels like somebody who, they make sure to hold the door open for you. They may give you a compliment. This is somebody who is just very kind. Like you walk around and somebody just smiles at you. That would be you, pile number 2. Like that bright smile that just kind of like makes your day better. And I think for my pile number 2s, there's a strong connection here to the inner child. Some of you could very well be parents. That's coming through. That's very specific, so only take it if it resonates. But this is very loving energy, and I think that where your heart chakra is currently at is in a place of receptivity. And I also think that your heart chakra is focused on creating, right? Creating what it is that is going to make you happy. Creating what it is that you are inspired to do. And for some of you, I would not be surprised if you are someone who is currently like working on a passion project, or you've taken on a new hobby, or you could be like some sort of creative, some sort of artist, like you do something creatively for work or on the side. That's coming through very strongly here. And here's the thing, pile number 2. I don't think that this was always the case. I don't think that this was always the energy that you operated under, because I think there's been major transformations that have happened within your heart chakra. And I also think that part of what you are doing and part of what you have been doing is working very hard at getting to this place, right? Where you can embrace your sensitivity, where you can embrace your loving nature. Because I think for some of you, there was a time where you had to show up and be the strong one, right? But here's the thing. I don't think many people realize that sometimes the biggest strength is being able to be vulnerable, is being able to be authentic, and being able to show love and to be who you are. And I think that this is a lesson that you have learned and that you are now applying. And for you, pile number 2, you are someone who is very strong, but you know how to be strong in a way that is also compassionate, loving, and kind. You know how to be strong in a way that allows you to be open and vulnerable, and in a way that allows you to be authentic. You are the type of person where your strength is able to show up even when you are scared, even when you are fearful, even when you are unsure. You are still able to be strong, courageous, and to remain open. And you're also someone who has a lot of different desires. Like, I do think for this group, you may have a lot of different interests, a lot of things that you are trying to accomplish. And your heart chakra is kind of where you ground, right? Because when we talk about chakras, the root chakra is all about grounding. It's the root, right? It's in the name. But I think for my pile number 2s, there's a level of like your heart chakra in many ways helps you ground and helps keep you present. So again, I was saying for some of you, you may be a highly sensitive person or like an empath or just somebody who is very clairsentient. There's something here. There's a sensitivity to you that is very beautiful, very graceful. And I also think for some of you, part of what you've been embracing and part of what you've been connecting to through your heart chakra, because I did say I saw the sacral and the solar plexus as well for this group, is sensuality, is feeling more comfortable within your body and seeking out experiences and being comfortable in the experiences that make you feel good. And I also think that for you, pile number 2, your heart chakra is in a place where you are actively not only appreciative of the connections that are already in your life, but I think for some of you, you are actively trying to call in soulmates or call in a community of some sort. And it feels like this is something that is very active, something that is very intentional, and something that is almost at the forefront here. And your heart chakra is, again, connected to your solar plexus and your sacral, but your heart chakra is also where your power is at. If I had to pick like one of your main chakras, at least at this time, because we're reading current energy, pile number 2 would be your heart, because your heart is like a stabilizing force, but your heart is also a driving force for you at this time. And one thing for you, pile number 2, is if this is resonating with you and this is sounding like you, allowing your heart to kind of lead the way is so important, and figuring out like, is my heart saying yes or no to this? What is a yes for me? What is a no? Does this feel right? If it does, how can I allow myself to go down this road and to listen to my heart? Because there's a lot of guidance that comes through your heart. And another thing is, I think that you've gotten to a point where you've learned how to ground and center yourself, again, through the heart chakra, where it's, I'm grounding, I'm centering myself, I'm creating peace in my heart. And that's allowing the information, the guidance, and the intuition to flow through. And I'll also say, pile number 2, that you are somebody who's probably very devoted, whether it's to a spiritual practice, a spiritual idea, a religion, but there's devotion here. And I also think that you're somebody who is very devoted to the people that you are in connections with, like friendships, family members, your loved ones. But I also feel this devotion to like something higher, something outside of yourself that feels very spiritually guided. Trying to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. For some of you, I don't know if I mentioned this, but in case I didn't, for some of you, there are new ideas, new dreams, new goals that are coming together. They're coming from your heart center. For others of you, there is some sort of hobby, some sort of project, some sort of business that's coming together. This feels very inspired, very connected to your higher self as well. So let's take a look at, how did you get here? How did you get to your current, to this current state of your heart chakra? How did you get here? And as I said, we are going to shuffle on camera. So how did my pile number 2s get here? Queen of Pentacles with the Moon card. You've been doing the work. You've been doing the work. Like, you've been doing a lot of work to actively, again, I said this at the beginning, but a lot of actively working on the heart chakra or the chakras in general. I'll take all three. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. You got here through work, through effort, through also accepting the opportunities as they show up. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Emperor. And I want to kind of give a reminder. I'm being kind of careful with these cards because on YouTube, I'm not allowed to show any nudity, even if it's on a card. And I know some of these cards have nudity. So I'm kind of, when I flip them over, I'm being a little bit careful because if I see it, I need to cover it. But 10 of Pentacles. So how did you get here? To this current state of your heart chakra. Pile number 2, you got here through your hard work. And I think there was also a level of trial and error here of like, I tried different things and this is what worked for me. This is what was like, this is what stuck for me. This is what I ended up deciding was right for me. And I think that for you, pile number 2, working on your chakras, working on your spirituality, working on being the best version of yourself has been something that has been very important for you. And it's something that you have actively decided was going to be a priority for you. And I also think that a big priority for you was to feel good, was to reach a point where you feel centered, where you feel comfortable, where you feel good about your gifts. Because I said this, for some of you, there was a time and place where you may have looked at your sensitivity or at your gifts and looked at it as like a hindrance, where it feels like you then got to the point where it was, I am going to accept this about myself. I am going to welcome this in about myself. And instead of hesitating or feeling like I have to hide who I am or I have to change who I am, it's this embracing this. I want to be, I am an earth angel and I'm here to share my love. I'm here to share my truth. And my truth is that I operate from the heart chakra. My truth is that I crave deep connections, that I crave a life full of experiences that I can really feel into. Like, this is, you're not someone who does something in half measures. You go all in. If you care, you are all in. And it's, you've gotten here by accepting those opportunities and by prioritizing what matters to you. And a big thing that matters to you is to be able to shine your light, to be able to be true to yourself and to feel good about who you are. And also, I think that for some of you, there's something that you're here to share with the world, where it's, I'm bringing this in so I can share this. Whether it's I'm sharing a art form, I'm sharing a part of myself, I am sharing, my story, I'm sharing a product, a service. There's something that some of you are actively here to share with the world. Let's look at what does your heart chakra need at this time? What does, for my pile number 2, my shuffling with this deck is terrible, pile number 2. The Hermit and the Magician, yeah. Pile number 2, I think that a big thing for you is almost like just keep doing what you've been doing. Keep creating, keep creating the experiences, but also keep creating something. For some of you, you could be like an artist. Like this feels like something very artistic here that wants to come through. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. For some of you, I said this, there's something that you're meant to share, that you're meant to bring to life, that you're meant to like share with the collective. Different things for different people, but that's coming through. And for others of you, you're here to build a community. You are here to connect with a specific community. And I think your heart chakra is already working on either preparing you or creating that for you. So what does your heart chakra currently need? The Chariot and the 2 of Pentacles. So pile number 2. What your heart chakra currently needs. I keep saying this, but keep doing what you are doing, because a lot of what you are doing is exactly what your heart chakra already needs, what your heart chakra is currently working on. And part of that is accepting opportunities, creating opportunities, and learning to decipher which opportunities are for you. And I think you're very good at that because you're very intuitive. You're very connected to the heart chakra. You are very connected to your intuition. You know what those things are. And what your heart chakra needs is to continue to move towards what you want. And here's the thing for you, pile number 2, it's not only moving in that direction, it's trusting yourself to make the choices to get to where you need to be. I don't know who needs to hear this, but there is no right or wrong answer. There is no predetermined path. You have free will, you have choices. Whatever you choose is going to get you to where you need to be. There is no final destination where this is where you end up or else. There are many different choices and you get to choose, and eventually you will end up at the same place that you were meant to end up in. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's coming through very strongly here. Self-trust is part of what you need, and it's a big one. And that self-trust for you is you making the choices, right? And there is a reminder here because we do have that 2 of Pentacles. Part of that reminder for you, pile number 2, is don't spread yourself too thin. Don't take on so much that you are exhausted, that you are overwhelmed, that you burn yourself out. Prioritize what it is that you want. And this is why the Chariot is here, because your heart chakra is saying what I need right now is to go after the dream, to create this, to go for those experiences that are meaningful. But don't do it so much to the point where you are completely overwhelming yourself and burning yourself out. One thing at a time, one step at a time, and trusting yourself to say, if I have 5 opportunities and I can only really embrace 1 or 2 right now, trusting yourself to say, these are the ones that are right for me, and these are the ones that right now may not be for me, or right now I can place on hold. And again, 3 of Pentacles. This is a group where if you're guided to take a class, if you are guided to join a community, a group, absolutely do it. And for some of you, this is you being the teacher, you leading the group, you creating the community. Community seems very important. Connection seems very important for this group. But let's see what else we have. So we are going to look at how you can practice self-love at this time. So we have the Knight of Wands, 7 of Wands. A lot of Wands energy in this group. And also the Tiger card is a fire card. So it could be that you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius prominent in your natal chart. But regardless, there's a lot of like fire energy, a lot of passion, a lot of transformation. For some of you, you could be an alchemist. You could identify as a witch. You could identify, there's a lot coming up here, a lot of spiritual energy coming up here, but fire energy very, very prominent for this group. Again, that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So for my pile number 2s, how can my pile number 2s practice self-love? We have the Ace of Pentacles. For you, self-love, we have the Chariot, we have the Ace of Pentacles. For you, self-love is you planting those seeds, right? You doing what you are being guided to do, you going on that new adventure, you trying that new thing, you beginning that new project, beginning that way of being, beginning that class, taking that class, whatever it is. It's like, embrace what your ideas are, what your thoughts are, what your desires are. Take action on it, one step at a time. But there's something new here that you are opening up to, that you are ready to embrace. And that is a way that you can practice self-love. Then we have the Nine of Wands and we have the Hanged Man. So here's the thing. In order to practice self-love for my pile number 2s, it's all about really checking in with your body. Checking in where you are at. Checking in with the messages that you are receiving. Again, very clairsentient. So being very aware of your body is super important. And for you, you practice self-love when you give yourself permission to keep on going, to keep on pushing through, and to push through any self-perceived limitations, to push through anything that feels impossible or anything that feels very hard, very difficult, like, oh, well, maybe this isn't for me because it's not quite working. That's especially when you should continue to push through. There's something that you are being asked at this time to really embrace your determination, to really embrace your motivation, right? What motivates you? What is motivating you to move forward and to keep pushing? And trust is a big one for this group. Trusting yourself, trusting the process, but trusting yourself to make the choices that you need to make to get yourself where you need to be. You practice self-love by allowing yourself to be excited for what's to come, by allowing yourself to have the best expectations, but also you practice self-love by knowing when it's time to give yourself a break, by knowing when it's time to say, let me put myself on a timeout. Let me take a nap. Let me relax and read this book. So for you, it's about balance, right? You practice self-love by creating balance and offering your body what it needs at the very specific moment that you are at. But again, this isn't about giving up. This isn't about walking away from something. This is about creating balance by approaching things in a way that feels good, that feels right, that feels like you are doing what you are being guided to do. And especially those times where it feels like, you know what, I can't do this, I shouldn't do this, or maybe this won't work out for me, push through that. Again, pile number 2, some of you are creatives. Some of you are creating something. It could be art, writing, content creation. There's something that you're creating, and that's what's coming up a lot right now. Let's look at what your heart chakra is holding on to. So we are going to look at what is your heart chakra holding on to that perhaps it should not, or that is not in your highest and greatest good. So what are you holding on to? What is your heart chakra holding on to? I got scared. I thought that was one of the cards. 10 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. For some of you, there could be something of, what is this? It feels like betrayal. Let's take a look at what is, for my pile number 2s, what is my pile number 2's heart chakra holding on to? And again, this is something that your heart chakra is holding on to that is not in your highest and greatest good. The High Priestess. We have the World. And we have the Sun. These are very interesting cards. So we have the High Priestess here. We actually have 3 majors for this one question for you, pile number 2. We have the High Priestess, and when it comes to the High Priestess has to do with our intuition, our dreams, introspection, and it's a very spiritual card, but it's also a card because the High Priestess has 1 foot in the spiritual realm and 1 foot in the material world. So with the High Priestess being here, it definitely can represent fears, and it can represent not paying attention to your inner voice. Because then we also have the World card being here as to what your heart chakra is holding on to. And the World card is all about completion, joy, getting to the next level. And it's a higher level of awareness as well, a happy ending, like an achievement, something coming to a close. But it can also represent a need for closure, especially when it's something that is being read as an obstacle or a challenge. And it can represent, needing to follow through. Because when we're talking about the World card on the upright, or when it's, being read, I guess, normally you can say, that's what it represents. But when it's being read almost as like something that is a challenge or an obstacle, again, it can represent like needing to follow through and again, needing to stay focused. So we have 2 cards that are speaking to that already. And some delays or like unmet dreams, desires coming through there as well. Now, the Sun is often recognized as the happiest card in tarot, but every single card has its negatives and its positives. And the Sun is all about joy, inspiration, success, again, achievement. Very similar energies here. But again, it can also represent delays, and it can represent self-doubt, lack of confidence, right? And it can represent, one thing that the Sun can do is sometimes when you stay positive, there is such a thing as spiritually bypassing and only recognizing what is positive and refusing to see things for what they are. So when it comes to what your heart chakra is holding on to, pile number 2, I think there's a level of self-doubt here. This keeps coming up as an undercurrent for this group, where there's a level of like needing to fully trust yourself when it comes to taking action and giving yourself permission to take action. And also the understanding and acceptance that you are whole as you are, that you are enough, that you are lovable, that you are perfectly imperfect, right? And one thing that your heart chakra is holding on to, I think, for this group is a little bit of self-doubt. A little bit of like, there may be remnants of low self-esteem that are here. A level of discomfort that is like underneath the surface here. Because pile number 2, I think that what makes you so kind and so loving and so compassionate is that you want to be, it's like you are being what you want to receive. You are showing up as what you want to receive. And that's such a beautiful energy, right? Like, I want to receive love. I want to receive understanding. I want to feel seen. I want to feel accepted. So I come into this world and I offer all of this love. I offer all of this acceptance. I offer all of this compassion. And what happens is that there's also a level of, I turn that outward, but I don't always turn that inward. And I think for you, it's that self-doubt, like that, that undercurrent of, and it feels very, very slight. Like, it almost feels like it may not be something that you're fully aware of, but it does feel like it affects you and it holds you back at times from trusting yourself and doing what you need to do. And I would not be surprised if pile number 2, you're the person that puts other people first, which can be beautiful, but also moderation when doing that. Let's take a look at, I actually want to keep going here because I want to see how to release this. I'm going to have to cut the deck again. All right, so how can my pile number 2s release this self-doubt? For my pile number 2s, how can my pile number 2s release this? Underneath the deck, we have the 2 of Swords, which again, the 2 of Swords is analysis paralysis. It's overthinking. It's a stalemate. It's not feeling sure, not knowing which way to go. Let's see what else we have here. Judgment. And we have the 8 of Swords. So, pile number 2. How do you release this self-doubt? You release the self-doubt, first and foremost, acceptance. Accepting who you are, where you are, and how you've gotten here. And I think that that's the thing. You've worked on that. You have done a lot of work on that. But again, there's almost a feeling here that some of it is faced outward. So I give this love. I give this energy. I show up. And that's beautiful. Keep doing that. But also turn it inward. Also, how you release this is by working on the belief, right? By building up that self-trust, by building up the self-confidence, by building up the self-worth, by really recognizing where you are at, by observing your thoughts, observing where you are at and what is coming up for you. Because we also have the Judgment card here, and the Judgment card is, actually I just noticed that because we had the Sun, which was card 19, and then we had the World, which was card 21, and Judgment is card 20. And the Judgment card is all about self-realization and understanding, right? Understanding yourself at a deep level, understanding your motives, understanding who you are at your core, your values, your morals, your ethics, what makes you who you are. And it's an invitation to show up and to be unapologetically who you are. And here's the thing. I think you're there. I think you're already on the way doing the work. For some of you, this is a reminder to keep doing this, to keep moving forward and keep creating more of this energy. For those of you that are at the beginning of this process, it's encouraging you to, again, show up, be yourself, be vulnerable. And do it from a place of trust, right? Do it from a place of I trust myself, I embrace myself, I love myself. And for some of you, you have done the shadow work. This just feels like little aspects of it that are still left over. And this is also about accept your heart, accept yourself, accept your beauty. And be transparent with yourself about what you want, what you don't want, what you need, what you don't need, what you need to do to get there. And there's no shame in accepting where you are at and the things that you want, the things that you need, and the things that you are experiencing. Because with the Judgment card, it's I am going to remove the mask. And we all wear a mask, right? We wear a mask with different people, different masks. We even wear a mask with ourselves. And where you are at, pile number 2, is fully seeing yourself for who you are, bearing witness to your own truth, and embracing your truth through action from a place of love and from a place of power, right? I empower myself to do this. Let's look at emotions that you may be avoiding at this time. So any emotions that you may be avoiding at this time, we have the Knight of Cups. So as far as emotions that may be avoided at this time, accept what you want without judgment. Like, don't judge yourself for what it is that comes up for you, what it is that you desire. What emotions are my pile number 2s avoiding right now? We have the Page of Swords. We have Temperance. And let's see what's underneath the deck here. 3 of Wands. So when it comes to emotions that you are avoiding, it's very interesting. We have Swords here, which is very mental energy. I think what happens for my pile number 2s, because this is very interesting. I think you're okay with the emotions. I don't think you're always comfortable with what the emotions are bringing up. As far as thoughts, as far as what the emotions are bringing up when it comes to how it affects what it is that you are doing. Because I think that your emotions, again, I don't think this is a group where you have a problem being in your own heart chakra. I think you're actually quite comfortable in your heart chakra. But I also think that there are emotions that bring up thoughts or restlessness that feels uncomfortable. And it's more about that. And it's very interesting because there was another pile where it was they were not comfortable with the emotions themselves. They were more comfortable with the mental energy. For you, it feels the complete opposite, where it's I'm kind of comfortable in the heart space. I'm comfortable feeling them. I'm used to it. But when it comes to what the emotions are evoking, that's where there may be a level of discomfort. And that's where there may be a level of like nervousness. And I would not be surprised if something that you are avoiding is feeling into that uncertainty, that anxiety, that feeling of nervousness, that feeling of like having to figure out what's next. Because I think that pile number 2 for you, and we have the Temperance card for you, you feel comfortable when you are in your center. And I think that you typically are in this place where you do feel rather centered or where you feel comfortable in your emotions. But when it comes to what you are avoiding, it's the disharmony. It's the discomfort. And again, I don't know that for many of you or most of you or some of you, it's I'm uncomfortable feeling it. It's more what comes after that or what comes with that. So I also think that you may be uncomfortable when it comes to feeling impatient, where it's like you may struggle with feeling patient and allowing things to come your way when they are ready, because for some of you, you're ready for something to happen immediately, so there may be a level of discomfort when it comes to that. Yeah, pile number 2, there's a discomfort with what certain emotions are bringing up for you, and what you may be taking away from what those emotions are saying to you. And for some of you, what you are avoiding is the impatience. And what's interesting is that I think for some of you, the impatience is actually a call to action, and it would help you move along a little bit faster, or move along and get to where you want to be. Like, there's a call to action, and there may be a fear on acting on it, which is causing impatience, because your soul, your higher self, your gut is ready to go. But there may be a level of like, that fear is keeping me a bit stuck, a bit trapped, where if I don't necessarily listen to it, or I don't pay attention to it, or I don't interact with it, and I think things through, and I sit here and because for some of you, there's a lot of moon here as well. Some of you have a strong connection to the moon. For some of you, it's I want to dream it, but when it comes to creating it, there may be a fear, right? Where I really want to make sure I'm doing it right, where I really want to make sure I'm doing what I need to do, and it's correct. I don't want to make any mistakes. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to do the thing. And that feels like it's from a place of fear, and it's causing some issues for some of you. Let's take a look at what you need to welcome in. Emotions that you need or are ready to welcome in. Emotions that you are ready to welcome in for my pile number 2s. We have the 5 of Cups, and we have the King of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the 6 of Swords. Discomfort. Allow that discomfort in. What you are ready to let in is everything that makes you feel, again, there's a call to action for this group. You are being called to take some sort of action, to move forward in some way. And what you are ready to feel, what you are ready to embrace is that discomfort that is going to push you forward. And with the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Cups is absolutely a card that is all about grieving, a card that is all about it can be betrayal, it can be like, self-pity. I don't feel good about where I'm at. I'm sad. And it can really be the energy of, I'm gonna sit in these heavy emotions. But we also have the King of Cups. So there is a level of feel anything that wants to come through, but especially the things that are making you uncomfortable, but the things that are making you uncomfortable with the purpose of getting you to act on something, of getting you to move towards something. And what this is meant to do is meant to help you navigate this discomfort, these emotions that you are meant to feel, these emotions that are like just heavy, because I think that you are someone who normally you're comfortable in the heart chakra, and normally you really are experiencing those like very loving, just inspiring emotions. This discomfort is meant to propel you forward. It's meant to help you navigate the way. It's acting as a compass that is leading you to what is meant for you. And part of that is there's passions, there's desires, there's dreams that are awakening within you that are actually just, again, it's a compass. It's your inner compass leading you to where you want to be, your North Star. For some of you, your North Node is currently being activated in your transits. You could be a Pisces North Node, a Cancer North Node, Scorpio North Node. Some of you, Leo North Node. Take that if it resonates, but for some of you, this is being activated. You are being activated at this time. Something could also be transiting your 5th house that is causing forward movement. That it's causing you to want more and to want to transform, to create change in some way. And you're being called to significant change. So pile number 2, we're going to look at how can you open yourself up to new connections. And when I speak of connections, I don't necessarily just mean like love, or like in a romantic sense, just any connection. This could be a friendship that is platonic. This could be a romantic connection. This could be a business partner. This could be a mentor, whatever it is. So how can you open up to new connections that are meant for you at this time, to people that are meant to connect with you at this time? Six of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and we've seen that Ace of Pentacles a couple of times. Bottom of the deck, the Three of Pentacles. Be open to collaboration. Be open to equal give and take. Pile number 2, I think you're someone who is used to being the one giving. Give yourself permission to receive. Give yourself permission to allow people into your life that are similar to you. Because here's the thing, if you are a giver, logically, there are other people out there that are also givers. There are other people out there that are also able to show up and to give to you, to have, and this isn't about being transactional, but I think in reality, relationships, you do want them to have some level of give and take. And I think when it comes to opening up to new connections, it's understanding that if you exist and you are this wonderful and you are this giving and you are this open and this vulnerable and this forgiving, compassionate person that you are. Because let me say, pile number 2, a lot of you, your aura is like a pinkish, yellowish aura. You have a very beautiful, welcoming aura. If you exist, that means logically other people like you exist as well. And it's about you welcoming in those people, those communities. And again, for this group, relationships, a lot of your healing, and this is true for most people, but especially for this group, a lot of your healing, a lot of your lessons, a lot of your work, and a lot of your happiness is involving communities, other people, connections. And being open to finding those groups and to understanding that there is something, there's like an equal give and take. There's a balance that is going to come in through another person. Let's take a look at what is a new connection that is ready to come into your life. So what is this connection that is ready to come into your life? And we're going to try to get as much information as possible. So what is this connection, this new connection that is ready to come into your life at this time? We're looking at like what type of connection this is. What's the vibe? What's the dynamic? We're going to pick 3 cards. Bottom of the deck, the 3 of Cups. For this group specifically, I have been feeling this. I want to say this. I think for this group, it's not just one person coming in for you. It's multiple people. For some of you, it's 2 to 4 people. And this could be because you meet in a group, or this could be because you meet these people separately. But there are people, like there's more than one person, more than one connection that is ready here. The King of Swords. So the King of Swords represents air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This person could have heavy air. I also think for my pile number 2s, for some of you, it's somebody that you are going to collaborate with. It's somebody that is going to be a match to you mentally. Like there's an exchange of wit here. It's like this person gets me for at least one of those people. For some of you, it could be a mentor coming in. Page of Wands. Yeah, this is another energy. These feel like completely different energies. Queen of Swords. Yeah, for you, at least 3 different energies coming in. For some of you, at least 2. For some of you, it's 3 to 4. I want to talk about who, like what this type of connection is. I think pile number 2, for some of you, you have a mentor or some sort of like teacher person that's coming in. And this person feels like they are very wise. This person may be actually older than you, like physically older than you. This person feels like they are going to teach you something. So again, this could very well be a mentor. This could very well be a teacher. This could be somebody that you collaborate with. This could be like a coworker, a boss, a manager. That person is coming in clearly. Then there's another connection here, and this feels more of a friendship. This feels like somebody that you can connect with, somebody that is going to get you, somebody that you can kind of go on adventures with, have fun with. And I feel like this person is either your age, they could be slightly older, they could be slightly younger, but this is somebody who is more of a peer when it comes to your age range, whatever that is for you. But this person comes in and this person feels lighthearted. This feels like somebody that you can have a lot of fun with. This feels like very much like a friend energy, where you just get one another. It's very friendly. It's very fun. It's adventurous. This could be somebody that you eventually travel with. There's another person, and take the ones that resonate for you, because for some of you, it's going to be all of them. For some of you, it's going to be 1 or 2, or, just take it as it resonates. Then there's another connection here. And this connection also feels like somebody who is here to almost like connect with you, and but it feels different, because this feels like a mentor to me. The Queen of Swords in this feels more of a, for some of you, this Queen of Swords could very well represent a romantic partner, a friend, a colleague, but this person is going to help you transform something in your life. This is a relationship that is going to help you grow and expand. And this is a relationship that's going to bring in a lot of self-awareness for you. And I actually just realized this 3 of Cups, and you got 3 different court cards which represent people. But this Queen of Swords feels like it's going to be different things for different people, where these feel like more set in their energies. This Queen of Swords, regardless of who this is in your life, this feels like somebody who is going to help you transform, expand, and someone who is going to change your life. Like, I'm getting like this life-changing energy to this person. These 2 could absolutely be soulmates. I really feel like whoever this Queen of Swords is representing feels like a soulmate, and it almost feels like magical in nature. But it's going to be different things for different people, what this represents. Let's take a look at who is coming your way. And we're going to try to get as much information. For some of you, we may get all 3 energies. We may just get 1. This is another one where take it as it resonates, because it's a general reading. But who is this person? Spirit, pile number 2. Who is the person coming in? Or the people coming in for my pile number 2s? Two of Cups. Yeah, there are soulmates coming in. And when I say soulmates, I want to make it clear. A soulmate isn't always necessarily a romantic partner. A soulmate is somebody that you have a soul connection with, somebody who you are meant to connect with, but it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic in nature, but this is definitely a soulmate coming in. The Five of Wands, Queen of Wands, Justice card. This is going to be karmic. And karmic, disclaimer before we get there, karmic is not good or bad. I don't look at karma as like good or bad. That's something that we as humans put on the energy. Karma is cause and effect. Every single karmic partner is meant to teach us something. But who is this person? This is going to be a soulmate. This is a soulmate that you have karma with. And remember, karma is not good or bad. This could be good. This could be bad. Whatever, however you want to view this energy. But this is somebody who is going to come in. And for those of you that it's more than one person, these people are going to come in to challenge you. These people are going to come in to help you grow. And there's a give or take. There's an exchange that happens here. And there is a balancing of karma. I also want to say, for my pile number 2s, some of these people coming in are actually helping you with your dreams, with your desires, with your whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is that you want to manifest. There's somebody coming in that is going to help you. This person is going to challenge you. This person is going to push you to be the best version of yourself. Even for those of you where this is a friend that is very supportive. But even when they are supportive, it feels like they push you forward. Like they're supportive, but they're not afraid to call you out, especially if you're like avoiding something. This is going to be somebody who's not going to be afraid to call you out and to help you embrace your power. I also think pile number 2, that for you, the person that's coming in feels very spiritual, at least one or two of them. For those of you that it's going to be multiple people, there's a very spiritual energy to this person. There is a very spiritual purpose to this connection. These people coming in are going to help you with obstacles. They're going to help you move through obstacles. We've kind of answered this, but I still want to officially ask this question, which is, why are they coming in? Why are these people coming in? And I'm saying these people because I think for most of you it's going to be at least 2. Why are these people coming in for my pile number 2s? The 5 of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. These people are coming in. For some of you, you've been feeling lonely. The Ace of Swords. For some of you, you've been feeling lonely, isolated. Some of you, you've been grieving. You've been feeling left out. You don't have your people. You've been investing and giving your energy to people that are not giving back to you. And these connections are coming in because this is what you've deserved, because this is what you've earned. And they're coming in to bring more love, to bring more understanding. There's a lot of loving energy to this. There's a lot of like, almost like inner child connecting to someone here. Like an inner child connecting, like a sense of wonder, a sense of magic. These people are coming in to help you move to the next level, and you're going to do that for them as well. There's almost like a sense of magic that comes with this. There's a lot of synchronicity as well. These people are going to be your people. They're going to be sensitive. They're going to be very loving, very caring, very kind. Again, if you exist, it stands to reason that other people like you exist as well. There's a deep understanding here. There's a deep bond that's coming in. And I will say, this, for my pile number 2s, for many of you, this really feels platonic. This feels like it's not necessarily in the romance department, though there could also be somebody in the romance department, but it feels like this energy coming in is really more friendship. take a look at, so I pulled 2 Power of Surrender cards as to what your heart chakra is ready to surrender. Surrender to miracles. I love this. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Then we have surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. So if you've got people in your life that are just causing drama, don't feed into it. Don't give them what they want. Let's take a look at this card. This is an Alice in Wonderland Oracle card. Let's see what we have. I want to be a queen. Stating your sovereignty. You know what I mean. Declaring freedom. Passing a test. Here's the thing, pile number 2. You are freeing yourself. You are freeing yourself of self-doubt. You are building up your confidence. You are building up your self-worth. And you are understanding that you are sovereign in your life, that you have autonomy, that you are the queen or king of your world, and that you get to make the choices that are right for you. And you can connect with your loved ones and listen to their advice and listen to what other people have to say. But ultimately, your life is yours and you get to choose. And that's what's happening here right now. Let's see what else we have. Happy. Yeah, there's a lot of happiness coming in here. There's a lot of... And a lot of this, you've earned it. You've earned it. That's the thing. Unfinished symphony. And that's, you're closing out cycles. For some of you, if you're a musician, there may be another recognition coming in. Or if you're thinking about playing an instrument, that's coming through, especially if it's like the piano, guitar. But unfinished, this is you closing out cycles that are going to lead you to happiness. Pile number 2, claim it. I am confident. I am confident. Because that's exactly what you are. Pile number 2, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All the things that YouTube loves that help me out. If you think the video is worth sharing, please do so. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Let me know if you like the format of on-camera shuffling. Stay tuned for the next poll, for the next reading coming very, very soon. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this Ace of Cups from the, what is it? It's the mythology one, the Mythos Tarot deck. I'm going to place this right over here. Also, that reminds me of book talk. If you know, you know. I'm reading a Hades Persephone retelling, and that card reminds me of that. Anyways, as a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. I did do a reading breakdown for this reading that is going to tell you exactly what we are going to answer and what you can expect from this reading. Check it out. It is time-stamped below. And we are going to start this reading by looking at the current energy for your heart chakra. If this portion does not make sense, this is probably not your pile. Try choosing a different pile, or it could just be that this specific reading doesn't have a message for you, which is okay. There are going to be others. Let's get started. So you got the most cards. I think that you had an extra card here. Yeah, and an extra card here. These 2 flew out together, and these 3 flew out together. So everyone else only got 2 of these and 1 of those. Let's see what we have here. Card number 1, indecision. Card number 2, envy. card number 3, appreciation. Very interesting energies. Then we have truth, limitless, and horse. Okay, so let's talk about this pile number 3. So I think that, because remember, we are talking about current energy for your heart chakra. I think that currently there's a lot happening here for this group. This could feel like you are overwhelmed, like one day you are totally on board with one thing and the next day there's, again, indecision. There's that level of, I think I know what I want, and then you kind of try to commit to it and then you're not sure. Or I think I know what's right for me, and then you start to overthink it and you're not sure. There is a lot of different feelings coming up for this group. So your heart chakra may feel very, what's the word I want to use here? Very like overwhelmed. I also think that for some of you, because of all of this energy happening, this could quite literally be manifesting into something more tangible for you, whether it's like upper back pains, maybe you are getting chest pains, maybe you are getting headaches. Like for some of you, it does feel like this energy is manifesting into something more tangible, more physical, more into the material world. And right now for my pile number 3s, I think what's happening is that there is almost this push and pull energy within your own heart. And I think that you are in a place where you are seeking truth, where you are seeking what your truth is and seeking how you are going to get to the next level in order to not only figure out your truth, but experience your truth. And I also think that for this group right now, the throat chakra and the third eye chakra are very active, because these 3 are kind of working together to get you to the next level. And with this indecision card being here, it feels like you're at a crossroads, right? We have it right on the card where we see that image of the crossroads, but I also think that you are in this crossroads in your life where you may be at a point where you can go left or you can go right. You can make one choice or you can make another choice. Whatever is happening here, it feels like this is a time where it's possible that there's going to be a lot of transformation happening in your life, and you are trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. And what's interesting is that I think deep down you know what's right for you. I think your third eye is open, but I also think that sometimes you tend to doubt what you know is true. And right now for this group, it does feel like your shadow self is coming up, and your shadow self is presenting certain things that require healing, certain things that are ready to be integrated back into your reality, right? And here's the thing, you're trying very hard to stay positive. You are trying very hard to make the best of this. But again, it's like one day I wake up and I know I'm going left. And then 7 hours later, I may realize that I'm not so sure that I want to go left and I want to go right. And your heart chakra is in a place where what you are seeking is freedom. Where what you are seeking is to free yourself from the experiences of the past. And this is somebody who's going through an awakening. And that's what I think is happening for you, pile number 3. It's that you're going through an awakening and you are realizing a truth. Now, what that truth is going to be different things for different people. But it's like something that you thought was true for you, something that you accepted as truth. You are realizing that it wasn't true at all. You are realizing that it's something that no longer resonates with you. It's something that is no longer in alignment with you. And for some of you, this could be a relationship. For others of you, this could be a belief system. This could be you having your spiritual awakening, where you are realizing that some people are just completely asleep and you're waking up to the truth of the universe, to the truth of spirituality. But whatever this is, whatever is going on in your heart, there's a lot happening here because there's an awakening happening here. And for some of you, what this is triggering is fear. What this is triggering is discomfort. And it's very interesting because if you chose this card, as far as like the aesthetic, this is the darkest card that was on the board. This is the card that feels the most intense as far as the images and the colors. And I think that it's because of everything that is coming up here, because things feel intense. Because for some of you, you are in that dark night of the soul. Because for some of you, you are seeking a way out. You are seeking to embrace your truth. For some of you, it feels like you are in a storm. It feels like you are being overwhelmed, right? Like you are drowning in everything that is happening. And for some of you, you could be experiencing the ending of a relationship, the ending of a job, the ending of a career, the ending of a partnership. Because for some of you, there is an ending here, and this ending was meant to lead you to your awakening. And it doesn't even have to be an ending to something that is outside of you, that is tangible. This could be the ending of you believing in something that you believed in, like a belief system. The ending of you following a specific path. Whatever it is, there's major change here. And it's forcing you to walk down a path that is not necessarily comfortable. And I think for some of you, with this envy card, I don't necessarily want to be going through this. I don't necessarily want to be experiencing this. I wish I could go back to X, Y, and Z where this wasn't what was happening for me. Because this does feel like difficult terrain, right? Difficult times. This feels like uncomfortable, unknown situation, something that's completely new. And that's why for some of you, this feels like a brand new awakening. And for some of you, this is your first awakening, right? Like this is you awakening to spiritual truth for the first time. But here's the thing. This is also what's leading you to truth, what's leading you to feeling alive, to feeling more, because it's interesting. This is like, I feel out of control. I feel overwhelmed. I feel frustrated. That there's a level of frustration here as well. But ultimately, it's empowering you in ways that you may not be aware of right now. And for some of you, you are feeling transformations in your body, and you're going through a mental transformation as well. The mind and body. There's something happening here. Mind and body are being highlighted. For some of you, you are developing strength through these experiences that are happening right now. This is expanding you. This is expansive energy. Look in your transit and in your natal chart at where Jupiter is at. For some of you, there's a Jupiter transit that is going through the 6th house. This could be the 9th house as well, which Jupiter is at home in the 9th house. This could be Sagittarius as well doing something. That's coming through. But overall, I would say the current state of your heart chakra is a lot of change, a lot of discomfort, and a lot of unknowns. But let's get started. Pile number 3, let's get started, because I want to see How did you get here? What happened? What led you to this moment in time? What led you to, like, what led you to this current state, this being your current state of your heart chakra? How did you get here? Bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Wands. I actually don't think I've ever seen this card in this deck. So let's see what else we have. The Knight of Coins. 2 of Coins. Pile number 3 you got here. Yeah, this feels like an awakening. Whether this is your first awakening or this is another level of an awakening, but this feels like an awakening for many of you. But how you got here is you were doing what you were supposed to be doing. You were playing it by the book. You were doing what you thought you had to be doing. And it feels like this kind of snuck up on you. This could have been like something ends, something just transforms, or something comes to an end in your life. And it almost feels like I was minding my business and I was doing what I had to do. And I was on the path that I needed to be on. And out of the blue, I end up in this confusion. I end up feeling overwhelmed. I end up in this place of not knowing what way is up or down. And you ended up here because we have the 2 of Coins, which is the 2 of Pentacles. And to me, this is really speaking of the different aspects of yourself. And I think this is why there's a level of indecision, because it's like there's different aspects of yourself. And I almost wonder if there was a part of you that was fighting the awakening, that was fighting what got you to this point. And there may be a part of you that may not be comfortable with seeking truth. This almost feels like I would rather not have to deal with this. I'm okay with being asleep and not being awakened. But it's like Spirit is, no, you got to go. Your higher self is saying, no, you got to go through this awakening. Because you're ready, because you're meant to. Because you can't ignore your truth any longer. And for some of you, what got you here was exactly that you were focused on the day-to-day. That you were focused on work, on career, on responsibilities, that you weren't giving enough time to spirituality. You were always on the go. But it was time. It was time for this spiritual awakening. It was time for other things to come to the forefront. Because this is really giving. I was doing my work. I was doing what I had to do. I was going to work. I was going to my 9 to 5. I was focused on what I thought I had to focus on. And boom, this hits me out of nowhere. But that's why. Because you were meant to go through this awakening. And for some of you, this is like the first time you're going through this awakening. For others of you, this is more of another level of your awakening. And there is shadow work here. There is deep healing here. There is moon energy here. For some of you, Cancer, Scorpio energy, Pisces energy, very heavy as well. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn with that horse being there, very heavy as well. But it feels like, and this could have started in Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces season for some of you, especially Pisces, because as I'm recording this, actually, Pisces season could be very significant for this group. Scorpio season as well. It could have been either, could have been any of those, but those water signs coming in as important. Let's look at what does your heart chakra need at this time. I will say, after having to shuffle the other decks, this is the easiest one to shuffle. But what does my pile number 3's heart chakra need at this time? I will take you, but I need another one. does my pile number 3's heart chakra need at this time? Page of Wands. Three of Cups. That is a beautiful card. And Strength. All right. So pile number 3. First and foremost, there's a need to bring in a level of lightheartedness to this because you're going through a very heavy time. And I also think that right now it's time to lean in on your circle. It's time to lean in on the people that love you and build connections. And whether this is like, people that you can connect to, that you can reach out to, and you can just say, hey, like I need somebody to talk to, or whether this is more of, I need to build a community and I need to find community. But it feels like, and I also want to say, this is also about leaning in on your spirit team. So this could be if you work with spirit guides, if you work with angels, if you work with deities, if you work with your higher self or the universe itself. This is also about that. But this really feels like what your heart chakra needs is support. Support not only from the people around you. And again, for those of you that are watching this and you're going to say, listen, I don't have anyone. Message me. I'll talk to you. You can message me on Etsy. You can message me on Instagram. I'll talk to you. I really will. I'll respond. My social media is not, my notifications aren't turned on. But if you absolutely need support, I will talk to you. But this is about you building, community and getting support. And I think for most of you, there is at least one person that can support you. There is at least one person that you can just say, listen, I just need you to hear me out. I don't even need you to solve my problems. I just need you to hear me out. Because what your heart chakra needs at this time is kindness, compassion, support. What your heart chakra needs right now is feeling like there is someone to lean on. And also, if you are someone, because this feels heavy, I have to say, out of all 3 piles, this is the heaviest one. If you're someone where if it gets heavy, you tend to isolate and you tend to separate yourself and keep yourself away from others, this is a reminder that that's not going to help you, that it's about leaning in and saying, I'm struggling. Let me connect with these people because these people want to support me. And also, there's a message here, pile number 3, that you don't have to be the strong one, that you don't have to pretend that things aren't bothering you. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be sad, be sad. If you need to go out and distract yourself and have a good time, do that. Because we do have this page of wands here, and underneath that was the 10 of cups. This is really a time where what you need is to feel connected. And because I saw that 10 of cups, I also want to say part of feeling connected is also oneness consciousness, because I think that what some of you are awakening to is that oneness consciousness, right? That we are all connected. We are all one. We are all capable of supporting and leaning in on one another. But overall, what your heart chakra really needs at this time is support and connection. And again, some of that is available to you through the spiritual realm. Some of that is available to you through the material realm. And I think for most of you, if you can, it's about leaning on both of those supports. And this is Atlas, right, on this strength card. But what this is really saying is you don't have to carry it all on your own. There's a lot of heaviness that you're carrying right now on your own that you don't have to. And that's why it's leaning in on someone else, allowing someone else to support you. Let's take a look at how you can practice self-love at this time. So how can you practice self-love I'm going to drop these cards because they are so slippery. And if I do, I will pause the video so you guys don't have to see me do a 78 pickup. Okay. So how can my pile number 3s practice self-love? King of Swords. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Star. And we have the High Priestess. So here's what's coming through. Pile number 3, in order to practice self-love, first of all, keep going, right? Don't give up. Keep going. You are closer than what you realize. And some of what you are facing, and I don't want to minimize it, right? Because different people are going through different things, and I never want to be the person to invalidate an experience. But this almost feels like part of this message is part of what you're going through feels bigger than what it is. And I mean that with love and respect, with peace and love. That's a message coming through, and take that if it resonates, in the sense of like, yes, it's a difficult experience, but also some of it is mentally more draining and mentally bigger, in the sense of like, you may not feel like you are equipped to get to the other side of this, when in reality you are. In order to practice self-love, allow yourself to heal. And that's going to be different things for different people, because when we say heal, that's a very, it's just mumbo jumbo that at this point we say a lot, and it can mean really anything. So when I say allow yourself to heal, different things for different people. But I think for you, pile number 3 is allowing yourself to, for some of you, connect with someone that can help you move through this difficult time, but also to sit where you are and be where you are at. And I think for some of you, acceptance of where you are at. And for this group, practicing self-love, something that you can do that's like very practical, I think, is meditation, journaling. It could be automatic writing. This is also about really being kind to yourself, right? Giving yourself time to rest, eating the right foods, practicing self-care from a place of self-love. And also for this group, you practice self-love when you allow yourself to connect to your faith, when you allow yourself to have hope, to have faith, to have optimism, when you recognize that even though there's a lot of indecision, there's a lot of confusion at this time in your life, that you have the answers that you seek, that you know what is right for you, and that you get to make those choices and those decisions. And with this High Priestess here, because it's not lost on me that this is Persephone, right? The goddess of the underworld. But also when we dig into Persephone's story, she was originally the goddess of spring, and she gets to spend half the year on Earth, and that's when we, but with Persephone being here and the Star card being here, really embracing all of you, and again, that shadow work coming in, embracing the parts of you that you may not fully love, that you may not fully accept. And I'm not here to tell you that you have to absolutely love those parts of yourself. But I am here to tell you that those parts of yourself that you may deem unlikable, undesirable, wherever that origin belief came from, that's still a part of you, and that's still a part of what makes you you. And it's a part of you that deserves respect, and it's a part of you that deserves acceptance. I may not love you, but I accept that you exist, and I welcome you in, and I sit with you, I honor you, and I allow you to be what you need to be. I think that's a big message coming through for this group right now. As far as practicing self-love, it's not only loving the parts of yourself that you're okay with, but loving the parts of yourself that you may not necessarily love or like, and understanding that that's still part of what makes you you, and that that's still a part of you that deserves that respect and that deserves to be honored. Let's look at what your heart chakra is holding on to that is not in your highest and greatest good. So for my pile number 3s, what is my pile number 3's heart chakra holding on to? Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Swords. The Empress. Very interesting to have the Empress here. And then we have the Four of Cups. So, pile number 3. What your heart chakra is holding on to that has really kind of, I want to say almost outgrown, or that doesn't belong there, that you don't need there, that is not in your highest and greatest good. There's almost, because we have the Empress and we have the Four of Cups, there's almost this energy of feeling overwhelmed to the point where I'm starting to shut down. And there's disharmony here. There's also this energy of frustration, apathy. And I think that your heart chakra is also really holding on to this. Almost feels like what should have been, what could have been. And for some of you, this is rooted in your past. This could have been your near past. This could have been like further back in your past. But this feels, for some of you, rooted in the past or as a result of something from your past. But your heart chakra is really holding on to feelings that are almost shutting you down because they are so intense. And for some of you, there's almost a level of negligence here as well, where you're not really tending to yourself and doing what you know you need to do for yourself. Because it's almost like, I don't want to deal with this, and because I don't want to deal with this, I'm just going to ignore it. And for some of you, there's also a level of like pessimism here, like pessimistic thinking, worst case scenario thinking. Yeah, there's something, the Four of Cups, there's something about maybe missing out on an opportunity, missing out on something. And there's frustration there. Apathy. And I think that what's led you to this point is because you have the opportunity to free yourself from these things, from these heavy feelings. Let's look at how you can release this. So we also have the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, some of you are like telling yourself a story, and you're taking that story almost as like truth when it's not. How can you release this? What needs to be done to release this? The Three of Coins. Pile number 3. Before we even look at those, I think for this group, whether you want to work with spirit, whether you want to like work with a professional, whether you want to connect with a loved one. And I think I'm going to be honest. I think connecting with a loved one is part of what you need to do. But I also think like there may be like actual another step to that. Like maybe it's time to see a therapist, a coach, someone that can work with me and help me through this. In addition to my loved ones, in addition to my spirit team. Because this feels like there's someone available to you that can be very helpful in moving through this difficult period. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Page of Cups. So how to release this? You have to get excited. You have to find new inspiration. You also have to, because sometimes making the decision to do something is half the battle. So for my pile number 3s, when we're talking about this Six of Swords, it's I'm leaving behind murky waters, right? And what are those murky waters? Those are emotions, experiences, things that are just no longer for me. So sometimes making the decision is half the battle. And I think for you, pile number 3, part of this is you choosing that you are going to move away and that you are going to leave certain things in the past, that you are going to leave certain things where they are at, and you are going to transition, you are going to heal, and you are going to move beyond the shadow of the past. Shadow work, very important for this group again. And again, I also want to emphasize shadow work sometimes is very difficult to do on your own. So there's definitely support from others here. Again, because we have that Six of Swords. So you release this with the support of others, but by making the choice that you are going to transition, that you are moving to the next leg of the journey, right? To the next point of your journey. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is all about the dreamer archetype, right? It's creativity, it's magic, synchronicity, all of those, it's sensitivity, right? And it's being motivated to go after your dreams, to experiment, and to do what you need to do. To experience joy, to also channel your creativity. So this is really speaking to you release all of this heaviness by choosing to do so, for those of you that feel like you need help in doing so, but also by embracing what is available to you and understanding that there are new opportunities available, right? The world is your oyster. There are so many opportunities available to you that are going to be coming your way and that are going to open up as you move through this. And yes, you may be closing a chapter. And yes, you may have to let things stay in the past that you thought were going to be with you long term. But that doesn't mean that that's all there was. There was so much more than that. And it's about remaining excited, remaining open, and allowing yourself to be inspired to go after something else. The butterfly, right? And I think that for this group, especially, the butterfly is such an important symbol at this time. Chase your happiness. Chase the joy. Chase the inspiration. One step at a time. And I also think for this group, being more playful, right? Finding connection. doing things just for fun, embracing your inner child. All of those things are going to help you release some of this heaviness. Let's look at what emotions you may be avoiding at this time. So, emotionally speaking, what emotions are you avoiding at this time? For my pile number threes, what are my pile number threes avoiding emotionally? We have the King of Cups. Three of Wands. This is a very interesting. Queen of Coins. Pile number three, it's very interesting because this feels like what you are avoiding is allowing yourself to hope, allowing yourself to expect something good to happen. It's almost like if I don't allow myself to expect something good and it doesn't happen, then it can't hurt me. It's like this very protective energy, where instead of like, yeah, I want this to happen for me, or like I am going to expect the best, it's like I don't want to allow myself to do that, right? Like I don't want to allow myself to wish for something that may not happen. I don't want to expect or be optimistic about something and then it doesn't happen for me. That way I'm not disappointed. But here's the thing, pile number three. That doesn't necessarily mean that if something doesn't happen, you're not going to be disappointed. Like you can allow yourself to wish, because one, there are good things coming for you. There's abundance coming in for you. You have the ability to create something. You have the ability to manifest what you desire. But you have to believe that, and you have to give yourself the opportunity to recognize and accept opportunities as they are sent to you. For some of you, you're also like, what you are avoiding is ambition. What you are avoiding is your desires, the things that you want. Some of you are afraid to dream big. And you are dreaming, you're either not dreaming at all, or you're telling yourself that you don't want certain things that you do want. This is from a place of fear. Because we also have the Queen of Pentacles here. You're not allowing yourself to desire more than what you think you can get. It's almost like I'm playing it small. I'm keeping myself in this box. I'm keeping myself tiny. Yeah, you're not allowing yourself to dream big. And you're also not allowing yourself to embrace what could be, to dream of the change, right? Because there's limits here. There's limits in what you think is possible. There's a story here. For some of you, it's like, I can't do that. So if I can't do it, what's the point of thinking about it, of trying? That was the Hierophant underneath the Eight of Swords, which is all about our belief systems, right? And building new paradigms. And what we believe is true for ourselves, and having the courage to break free from that. Let's look at what you do need to welcome in as far as emotions go. So what do you need to welcome in as far as emotions go? For my pile number threes, what emotions do my pile number threes need to welcome in? I'll take all three. We have the Queen of Swords underneath the deck there again. Okay. So what needs to be welcomed in the Queen of Wands? Possibility, inspiration, dreams, ambition, all the good things. The Chariot, yeah. And the Six of Wands. I love it because absolutely, pile number 3. What you need to let in, possibilities, right? What you think is possible, what you want, that like dreamer, like allow yourself to dream. Why did I want to just sing the song? Oh my God, it's a Disney song. I wouldn't even know how to sing it, but like at first, is it a Cinderella song? I don't know where it's from, but pile number 3. When it comes to the emotions to welcome in, feel your passion, feel your inspiration, feel into your power. Feel into your confidence, into your self-worth. Feel into your capabilities. Allow yourself to not only feel what you want and like allow yourself, give yourself permission to dream the dream, if you will, to desire what you want and to think bigger outside of the box and to think like, if you were to ask yourself, pile number 3, if I could have anything, what would it be? Without you coming in and saying, oh yeah, no, but not that, because that's not going to happen for me. No. Cancel that. We're not doing that. Feel all of that and allow yourself to feel, because we have the Six of Wands. There's already things that you can celebrate. There are already things that you have accomplished that you can recognize. So really feeling into joy, into gratitude, inspiration, creativity. And here's the thing. Sometimes we do have to feel sad. Sometimes we do have to feel angry. But I don't think there's an issue there. I think the issue for you is really embracing what's possible without having to give yourself almost like a talk of like, but if it doesn't happen, or if it may not happen, no, forget that. It will. And with the Chariot here, connect to your willpower. Connect to the essence of who you are. Connect to your higher self and allow the power of your higher self to funnel through you. And feel into determination, right? Into your determination to create what it is that you want, into your confidence. Because this is a group where there is a lot of confidence here, but it's not being tapped into. And you are ready to tap into it. Let's kind of shift a little bit, because we are going to go into how can you open to new connections. And when I say new connections, this could be platonic, this could be romantic, it's just the connection. So how can you open yourself up to new connections that are meant to come in for you? For some of you, the new connections that are meant to come in for you are very spiritual in nature. Justice, yeah. Let's see what else we have. We have the Four of Coins, or the Four of Pentacles. You got to release control. And the Wheel of Fortune. You got to release control. You got to... This is a group where allowing life to unfold and allowing... Here's the thing. You can't control what happens, right? You can't control other people. You can't control your environment necessarily. You can control your reaction. You can control your response. You can control what you do. What you cannot control is what other people do. You cannot control what's happening around you. When we seek control, it's from a place of fear. And this is, in order to welcome in new connections, there needs to be an understanding that what is meant for you is going to find you. And that there are experiences that are coming your way because they're part of your blueprint. And because those experiences are going to help you grow and expand. And you can't necessarily control everything. So there's a level here that in order to open to new connections, there's a need to release control and there's a need to surrender. And also, there's a need to really look at lack mentality and scarcity and see, when it comes to connections, do you have this idea that maybe there are no connections for you or that you're not going to find the right people? But also, in order to open yourself up to new connections with this Wheel of Fortune being here, this is about allowing life to do what it does, right? The wheel to change. And we have the Wheel of Fortune and we have Justice. Both of these cards are about karma. And there are connections that are meant to come in. What you make of those connections is going to be up to you. But they're at the very least meant to come in and introduce themselves. And for you, pile number 3, I think some of these connections are going to be spiritual. Let's actually look into that, because the next question, the next thing I'm going to ask is, what are these? What connection is ready to come in for you? Like what's the dynamic? What's this going to be for you? What type of connection is this? What's going on here? Type of thing. The 5 of Coins, so the 5 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Cups. So this connection that wants to come in for you, it's at least one. For some of you, it could be more. This is a connection that is going to help you through this time, especially if you are feeling isolated, if you are feeling like you are misunderstood, like somebody's just not getting you. And this is a connection that is going to emotionally support you. For some of you, this could be a professional that's coming in. For others of you, this could be a friend. For others of you, this could be romantic. I'm going to be honest. I don't think for many of you it's going to be necessarily romantic. But this connection is coming in to support you. This connection is coming in to nurture you, to help you. For some of you, this feels like a very nurturing, like whoever this is, there's a nurturing quality to them. There's a very loving quality to this person. This could be a mentor. As I said, this could be like a professional, like maybe a therapist, a coach. This could be a friend. This person is very wise. Actually, let's jump into that, because I'm going to get information about who this is. Who is this person? Because the connection itself feels like it's meant to help nurture. Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Swords. The Moon card. Seven of Coins. Okay. For many of you, this is somebody who operates from the divine feminine. This could actually be a feminine energy, like a female energy coming in. This feels like somebody who is very supportive. This feels like someone who is very nurturing, very patient. This person feels very, very patient, very understanding. For some of you, this person is kind of like big sister or like motherly energy. This is someone who is going to help you reflect on your journey in some way. And this is somebody who's going to really push you forward and encourage you forward, but this is like a very nurturing, very kind, very gentle energy. For some of you, this person is going to come in as a little bit of a surprise. This person could have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. They could also have Earth energy, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So it feels like they have a mix of those two. This person is going to help you. It's like they're helping you make a choice, or they're helping you go in the right direction for you. Again, this feels very encouraging. For some of you, this could very well be like a mentor or a therapist that's coming through. Yeah, this person is going to really like help you move forward. And for many of you, this is going to be, again, somebody who operates from the divine feminine, which we all have divine feminine and divine masculine. Or this could be somebody who is actually female, like a woman that's coming in. Very kind, very nurturing. They're going to feel very welcoming to you. Like they're going to welcome you in. They are going to make you feel very comfortable. For some of you, this is like a spirit guide or some sort of spirit helper. Some of you, this could very well be Goddess Selene. I'm also seeing Artemis. It could be a moon goddess. For others of you, this is two energies in one. This could be like a spiritual energy, but also somebody like physically coming in as well. Why is this person coming in? Like, what is this person? Like, what's the lesson? Why is this person coming in? Spirit, why is this person coming in for my pile number 3s? You know what? I was going to do 2, but we're going to take 3. 4 of Swords. They're coming in to help you heal. They're coming in to help you. This person is going to help you also with the shadow self. Like this person is helping you heal your heart. It really feels like. Then we have the Page of Coins, and what was this? The Fool. This person is going to help you with a new beginning. This person is also going to really, like, this person feels like they're going to really take their time with you. It's like one step at a time. What's underneath the deck here? The 7 of Wands. Yeah, this person is also going to help you set some boundaries. I think for some of you, this is going to be a spirit helper and or somebody who is like a mentor, somebody who is like a therapist, a coach, a friend. Again, for a few of you, this could be romantic, but I'm not really feeling that. Because it feels like they're going to help you like with a new beginning that's coming through here. Like they're going to help you see things from a different perspective. They're going to help you plant some new seeds, and it's very encouraging. They're going to help you manifest. And this person is like very practical, very realistic. And they're going to help you take very practical and realistic steps. Let me know if you want me to do it. Who's coming into your life reading, because this is very interesting. Let's take a look. So I picked 2 Power of Surrender cards, and this is something that your heart chakra is ready to surrender. First, we have surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. Then we have surrender to your soul's path. Your soul's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. And you are on the right path. You are, this really feels like this is leading you to the path that you are meant to be on. This is where these two cards jumped out. Every other pile only had one. Let's see what you got. It's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. And that's what you're breaking free from. Like, I really feel for this group, you are breaking free from, you're breaking free. Like, you're no longer asleep. You are awake and you're breaking free. And what you are seeing is the patterns that were in your life. Then we have, we're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. And this is what you are embracing. Pile number 3 is what makes you unique and your own path. And I also think that, you know, we're all mad here. It reminds me of the Mad Hatter, because I think that for some of you, you may feel like very overwhelmed. Like, am I making things up? What's going on? Trust where you are at. Of course, I dropped that. So let's see what we have here. Yin. Yeah. In connecting to the divine feminine, being receptive. Very important. Let me grab the card that I dropped. Okay, it did fall. It was facing up, so I did see it. It's go the distance, and that's the thing. This is a group where right now, push through. Trust yourself, trust your choices, trust what you know is right for you, because you do know what's right for you. Because you can make the right choices for yourself, because you are connected to your truth. You are connected to your higher self. Pile number 3, claim it. I trust myself and I am confident in my choices. In the comments, that's your affirmation. I trust myself and I am confident in my choices. Because if you take anything away from this reading, please let it be that. Okay, pile number 2, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All the things that YouTube loves. That helps me out so much, which I appreciate you for. I appreciate you being here. Also, let me know what else you'd like to see next. Let me know if you like the shuffling on camera, or if you prefer to have the cards pre-shuffled. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think that's it. Stay tuned for the next poll. It will be up very shortly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.